Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching SAMAA News. Here are today's headlines. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi says the Strait of Hormuz will remain under Iran's full oversight during the next 30 days, as efforts continue to implement the Memorandum of Understanding signed with the United States. Speaking during a visit to Iraq, Araghchi said Iran has briefed regional partners on the agreement and stressed that any unilateral action or outside intervention in the strategic waterway could delay its full reopening and increase regional tensions. Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq held a telephone conversation with Bahraini Foreign Minister Abdulatif bin Rashid Al Zayani to discuss the evolving security situation in the Middle East. The call followed Bahrain's announcement that it had intercepted several missiles and drones launched from Iran. During the conversation, Dar reaffirmed Pakistan's support for dialogue and diplomatic efforts to maintain regional peace and stability following the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding between the United States and Iran. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, says it launched ballistic missile and drone attacks on U.S. military targets in Bahrain and Kuwait, calling the strikes retaliation for recent U.S. attacks on Iranian territory. Iranian state media said the operation targeted Ali al-Salem Air Base in Kuwait and the U.S. Fifth Fleet headquarters in Bahrain. A U.S. official said there were no reports of casualties or significant damage. The United States responded with a second consecutive night of strikes on Iranian military infrastructure, saying the attacks targeted surveillance systems, air defenses, drone facilities, and mine-laying capabilities after an alleged Iranian attack on a commercial tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. The latest exchanges have heightened tensions and raised fresh doubts over the fragile ceasefire established under the June 17th Memorandum of Understanding between Washington and Tehran. U.S. President Donald Trump says that American forces struck Iranian missile and drone storage sites, along with coastal radar facilities, accusing Tehran of repeatedly violating the ceasefire agreement. In a post on Truth Social, Trump warned the United States could be forced to militarily complete the job if Iran continues its actions, adding that the Islamic Republic will no longer exist if further military intervention becomes necessary. Israeli airstrikes killed one person and wounded at least two others in southern Lebanon on Saturday, less than a day after Israel and Lebanon signed a US-brokered framework aimed at ending months of cross-border fighting. The Israeli military said it targeted Hezbollah fighters and destroyed a rocket launcher in the Nabatia area. Lebanon's health ministry confirmed one death, while local media reported additional drone strikes that injured at least two people. Hezbollah rejected the agreement, calling it humiliating and null and void, and vowed to continue armed resistance. Israel, meanwhile, said its forces are preparing for an extended deployment in a security zone in southern Lebanon. Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz has said that the Israeli forces have been instructed to prepare for an extended stay in the security zone occupied by the Israeli military in southern Lebanon. Katz has said that he and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu have directed the military to maintain its presence despite a US-brokered framework with Lebanon aimed at ending hostilities and transferring control of the area to the Lebanese army. The death toll from twin earthquakes that struck Venezuela's northern coast has risen to 1,430, with more than 51,000 people still missing as rescue teams race to find survivors. Authorities have restricted access to the disaster zone in La Guaira, saying traffic was hampering emergency operations. More than 3,300 people have been injured, while only 243 survivors have been pulled from the rubble so far. The UN estimates the quakes caused up to $8.7 billion in damage and could affect nearly 6.8 million people. Rescue officials warn hopes of finding more survivors are fading as the critical 72-hour window comes to an end. The UAE has strongly condemned reported Iranian drone attacks on Bahrain, calling them a flagrant violation of the country's sovereignty and a threat to its security and stability. In a statement, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs denounced the attacks in the strongest terms and reaffirmed the UAE's support for Bahrain. Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC Secretary-General Jassem Mohammed al-Budaiwi has also condemned the alleged Iranian attacks targeting Bahraini territory. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching SAMAA News.